fine, we don't care. But guess what? You do you, but while you doing you, just keep quiet and enjoy what you're doing. Don't involve us. But then you quick to be like, when you involve us and you be like, because there's this football player when he said something about Jill Scott, and she like, oh, who want that? And people, there's some celebs that defended Jill Scott, but why did he have to put that, you know? And then when black women come for him, they be like, oh, yeah, black women, yeah, don't have nothing better to do, this and this and that. Like, we mind our own business.
Jill Scott was probably changing the channel, be like, why am I trending on Twitter? And then going to be like, what? Like, you can't, it's like, who, this is a
you can't even exist.
Yeah, it's
without
like
somebody trying to come for you.
Exactly. And then it'd be your own men. It'd be like, it's the self-hate is so prevalent in black community. And it's just like, at this point, it's like, I'm really seeing, especially the ones that are self-hating, I'm really seeing that karma coming back and biting them for that. I'm like, so I just sit back and be like, keep on self-hating and see. Because you see Lil Wayne self-hated a lot. Do you see how he look?
I know, he looks like he's been through some things.
Like a garden gnome?
He don't look like a garden gnome. With black. His dreadlocks look like, but
he looked like somebody you take him to a car wash and like clean him really good and throw him a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that came out.
But
sorry.
It's just I just have this thing with men that talks about women like that in that sense.
Disrespect women.
Yeah, like you don't have to do that. You whatever you choose, that's your business. But please, like, leave us out of it. Leave us out of it. Like, dang, we over here minding our business. Why can't we just be left alone?
Just living our lives, our best lives.
And believe us when we say something, because we're not gonna lie about it. Like,
and not even that.
Meg Thee Stallion do not have to actually show her injury for people to believe that that's what happened to her. If she said that happened to her, that happened to her. And I don't know.
It's just at this point we got to get to a better place. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's gonna be an easy road, but at this point, like, just stop. Like, you know, I'm being honest, if any color of women went through what black women went through, you're not gonna tell me they're not gonna be angry. This is generation of hurt. That's one thing with the black community. We have so much hurt that we have to get rid of. That we have to heal, not even heal from.
We start healing.
So much between self-hate, between whatever abuse you have, between racism, between being targeted, between being disrespected, sexualized. Like, there's so much things that are in our community that we have to slowly heal from. That, and we have to get rid of that. You can't be happy if all you have is to do is misery, and still we still prevail. We still are vibrant. We still are alive. We're still beautiful. I'm beautiful, but yet we still disrespect and we're still here.
Still here, still protecting.
Exactly.
We are the most disrespected and the most appropriated.
It's so, and then what makes me mad is, like, your parents will be black, but they refuse to accept that you're black, right? You can't be black. You're this. Like, if somebody can say to you, you're not black. You have to be mixed with something. Your nose, or your hair, or your skin, or this and that.
The worst thing, you exotic.
What you think exotic came from? Like, black women are the most exotic on this world. Like,
you have exotic futures.
Exotic things, but I feel like the word exotic shouldn't be labeled as something that's Spanish or this. Exotic is something that is like foreign and like different.
They're everywhere. We come in all different shades, sizes, everything. I mean, even our hair is exotic in itself.
Yeah.
And our hair is a big problem.
Oh,
because they try to use our hair to put us down, because they be like, why you have a weave on? Why you can't be natural? Why you can't be this? Why you have we have braids and then you be like, oh yeah, you are what's that? You are ghetto, you are ethnic or whatever.
Even when
but then
it's natural.
And then when a white woman have braids, they be like, oh, she discovered that. You remember? You remember the barbaric braids?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? What? This has been like Africans have been using braiding styles and natural hair as a way of expressing themselves. Black women, we use our hair to express ourselves. So why is it a black woman have purple hair? Ooh, that's ratchet and ghetto.
Blonde hair.
Purple hair, red hair, blonde hair, whatever color. Why does it matter? Why? If I want to have purple hair.
When you blonde hair, you're trying to be white. But they don't understand. There's people in Africa that have blonde hair.
Yeah.
There's natural hair. There are people in Africa that have red hair. But yeah, when you have red hair or blonde hair, that's only white people that can have that kind of hair. So when you do that, you are trying to be more than you're supposed to be. You know? So like,
when it's that, like, there's people in the Solomon Islands that are dark skinned with blonde hair, with blue eyes. There's like a lot of people that have blue eyes in Africa. This is something that's been there for so many years. Like, why is it there's black people everywhere? If you look back to, it's just not. This is not something that is just coming off of somebody's head. There's actual artifacts. Like, if you see pictures of Mary and Jesus, they're dark skinned. Like, you go to Ethiopia, I'm seeing Mary as dark skinned. I'm seeing Jesus as a dark skinned man. But when you go to like more of the recently modernized, I'm like, why Jesus white?
Complete features and everything is completely different.
Completely. It's like you washed away what our religion is and what we believed in, and what is actually historically there, and we're praying to a white Jesus and Mary.
Because the origin men come from actually East Africa, so they're trying to erase that. And because that's what I say, I didn't want to talk about Egypt, is because they built the biggest museum. I'm gonna send you the video. They have built the biggest museum in Egypt to show the pharaohs and all that stuff. But then when they built that, and CNN, and I'm gonna call out CNN put, because CNN have this CNN has program in Africa called Inside Africa, and then also CNN has this called in the Middle East. But when they did this story about Egypt, instead of saying Inside Africa, you know what they say? Egypt in the Middle East. So technically, you are taking our history and putting it in the Middle East. So you show that you are trying to show that Egypt is not in Africa. You showing Egypt in the Middle East, so that Middle East can get that credit where the pharaohs and all that rich culture of Egypt, which is very prominent in Africa, that shows that we are Africa, because the Egyptians in those ages were not the Egyptians that are right now, because most of the Egyptians right now, they are very white and they have this Middle Eastern white heritage. But the original Egypt were very dark.
The Nubian people. Nubian people.
The Nubian, and it's called Kemet. So it's like when they say Egypt is in the Middle East, what are you trying to say? You know? And it was just horrible when they say that. And so far they have not apologized for that. They have not said anything. They have not apologized, and they've been called out, and I have not seen anything yet. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, that should tell you a lot of things. First of all,
African heritage is being erased
completely
right in front of our eyes.
And for them to, and it's sad because there's so many people who don't even know where Egypt is probably located. Also, like that's a horrible mistake to put on and to broadcast on such a huge platform like CNN. Also,
yeah, you have that's what they think, you have this control if you use the media to control people. Mm-hmm. They be like, oh, you live in a hut. I said, what? Like, what? Oh. Ma'am, sir, what? I remember my dad saying, he's like, oh, you live in a hut? He's like, yeah, how do you get, he said, you live in a tree? He said, yeah, how do you get up there? Elevator. just to make them sound stupid, because it's just like,
no, I used to say when people be like, oh yeah, you have lions, and you're like, yeah, we swim with the lions and run with the sharks. I'm like, yeah. So.
Do you have clothes? I said, no, we use leaves to cover our parts. That's how, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You never worn shoes before?
Nah.
No, we use fishes as our sandals. And you just like, with people like that, you just kind of have to answer them like that to make them realize how dumb their question is. Like,
but some people are so stupid, they'll be like, oh,
they'll believe that.
Interesting.
They'll believe that.
Yeah, let them run around and say that, and then just see how dumb they are.
They'll believe that.
But I'm very proud at I'm really proud at how everybody of every color is waking up and seeing like the real history, and we're coming together as one. It's like you can't stop something that is true. You can't stop history. Like, as much
hide the truth, yeah,
you can't hide the truth. You can only
you always come back.
Mm-hmm.
Always comes to the light. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And we're slowly but surely, we're all uniting. We're all exposing
waking
the
up
truth.
from a slumber.
A lot of people are waking up, and I'm proud of people from other races that are actually speaking up and speaking out against their families, friends, and people, who look like them, who don't agree. Mm-hmm. And they're educating them too, and even are going as far as supporting, like the Black Lives Movement matter, and are willing to stand up for other people's basic human rights, even though they're being disowned by their family just for believing in such a movement like this. So, it's very important, and continue having those uncomfortable conversations. Bring it up, talk to people, go vote, go protest, or do whatever you can in your own way, because it's very important.
Mm-hmm. Because this is something beautiful that's happening, and I feel like as everybody is different. There's difference in the Latin community, there's difference in the African community, there's difference in the Asian community, but at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all breathe the same. We just have different colors, and we have differences within ourselves. Go ahead.
But all those communities that you just spoke about, when we dig deep, we are very similar.
That's true.
But what I'm saying is that there is the reason why there's issues is because they feel like they're different. Mm-hmm. When there's differences, yes, in us because of it's like climate wise why we're so different. If you really look at it. But at the end of the day, we're all human. If you cut us, we're all the same, and we shouldn't have to keep fighting for our rights and for us to live. Like, we shouldn't feel uncomfortable to go in any other countries. Like, to be honest, like, if I want to go to Russia, for instance, I shouldn't have to be like, I'm not going to go over there because of this and this and this. We should just feel welcome. Everybody should be welcome. And respect whatever religion is there. Respect the culture. Respect everyone. Live happily. And just like, why is that so hard?
Girl, it's okay. There's only one race, and that's the human race. Mm-hmm. If this coronavirus, the whole pandemic, didn't teach people that, this virus didn't discriminate against a continent, a group of people, black or white, male or female. It affected the entire world. It doesn't matter if you're a newborn, a baby, or an elderly. Mm-hmm. It affected everyone.
All bleed red at the end of the day.
Exactly. At the end of the day. And it just like, at this point, I'm like happy to see our generation is schooling our old school generation. Like, hey, like, you don't, like, especially like the more white people, they're like, the kids are saying, no, this is not right. Mm-hmm. And then they're telling their parents, like, your way of thinking is wrong. Mm-hmm. And calling them out for it. So that's all it is. It's just, let us live. Like, let us just be like, we shouldn't have to second guess anything. We shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable being in our own neighborhood because we have a big house, you know?